Welcome to this episode of Strengther brought to you by CXO Digital Pulse. In this series, we celebrate the resilience and achievement of remarkable women who have left an incredible mark on the entrepreneurial landscape. Today, we are excited to introduce two extraordinary sisters who have skillfully transformed their passion into a thriving brand. They have redefined empowerment with their innovative approach to the traditional 6 yard wonder, turning it into a symbol of strength for women who wear their creations. Join us as we explore their journey from a shared hobby to creating a brand that resonates with the power and dignity of women everywhere.
Hi everyone, I'm Kavea
And I'm Ramya.
and we are the co-founders at Kalaneca. The one thing that really inspired Kalaneca was, when we started the journey, it started with 6 yards of freedom. It started with celebrating it. And in the process, we realized a sari is the only piece of garment that does not come with tags like S, M, L, XL. So a sari never asked you saying, hey, fit into me. It actually blended with you to make you stand out, to create 6 yards of legacy.
Thank you so much for being with us in this episode, Kavya and Ramya. It's a pleasure to have you there with us today. And let's start with a rapid fire question to further understand about who both of you are as a person. And with that, let's start with, so who's your biggest role model in the business world?
I would say the CEO of Chanel, Lina Nair. And one of the biggest reasons is, her journey itself, having been an HR and to now being a CEO. And I think the kind of power she exudes and the kind of decision making that she's taken to where she's today, phenomenal.
For me, of course, it started with Shireen Bhan because I first saw her on CNBC TV 18, which is when I first decided to become an anchor after engineering. But subsequently, while Shireen Bhan continues to be my eternal role model, in the world of business specifically, I would say Falguni Nair because, we talk about a lot of people who broke the glass ceiling. She's not only shattered it, she has also sort of flew way above, beyond, however you may put it. And taught us the fact that age is just a number. You can be an entrepreneur whether you're a 5-year-old, 60-year-old, and you can be who you want to be at any age. So I think Falguni Nair, Nika. Yeah.
I would not differ with you at all, I would say. Okay, so coming to the next question, what is the most rewarding aspect of being a founder?
I think the most rewarding factor would definitely be that you're creating, you're not consuming. Consumption is something every one of us do, but you have the power to create, and that creation has an impact. I think we wake up with that feeling every single day. So that's the most rewarding.
Yeah, I think as a founder, another thing is that, you shift from a solopreneur to an entrepreneur. See, as a solopreneur, you're just impacting your life, your bank balance, your home. But when you decide to become a founder, you get to impact in so many other lives. And I think there's this wonderful quote, what you do for yourself leaves with you when you leave the world. What you do for the others remains immortal. So I think that is a founder's journey.
That is absolutely true. And I'm sure you are touching numerous lives, be it your artists, your weavers, and also your consumers. I think this legacy gonna stay really long.
Thank you, Pradeep.
Okay, and what is that one skill that you think women founders actually excel at?
Being very honest, I think though this word has been loosely used in the recent past, I would say actually the word is empathy. A woman founder can probably be the only one who might call you out and say, hey, Ramya, I'm not appreciating the way the spreadsheet has been tackled. And she will call that person out. But by evening, she'll say, Rams or Ramya, why don't we go grab a drink? Why don't we go catch up on, why don't we go attend that fest? I think a woman founder knows how to separate a task and separate the emotion. We often say that, women are more emotional or something, but I feel women have that empathy and they can address that beautifully. That's my thought.
So for me, it would be that I think a woman is that person who ensures that while she's achieving the task, she's also ensuring to see how others are also feeling and operating. So I'm not just going to keep myself happy in the process, but the world is happy. I personally feel as women, we are also looking at how others are also a part of that ecosystem of the work that we are doing. So, hey, it's not just me who's going to be happy with this, but so will you. And that person could not just be within your work ecosystem, could be a family, could be somebody outside, out of that. And I think that's what women founders do. Yeah.
Awesome. And what is a daily must to do habit for both of you?
For me, it would be stay hydrated. I can wake up to say that I can say wake up with a vision and all, which is true, but stay hydrated. We forget to consume the right amount of water and stay hydrated, which makes our body alive, which makes our mind alive.
I think you're right.
Most important habit.
Yeah, I think that's true also, because in your daily rut of life, when you're actually focusing, you forget drinking water, which is important. In my case, would be sleep with a smile. It's a daily habit that I'm very particular about. Don't have an argument and go to sleep. We brainstorm a lot, we argue a lot, okay? But let's say we have differed on an opinion. Immediately after that, we'll say, okay, let's shift, let's do something else. So don't sleep angrily, don't go sleeping with a fight. Sleep with a smile, you'll automatically wake up with a smile, and you'll wake up saying, yaar, aaj kuch tufani karte hain.
Awesome. And I'm sure the bond between both of you as a sister also would have helped a lot with the argument, with the innovations, because I think that every argument, something creative comes up.
Yeah,
Always,
absolutely. And
always.
especially, it's not just sisters, right? Twin sisters. I'm just going to quickly throw in a nugget. As twins, what happens is we're brought up thinking, hey, we think alike, we should be alike, we should do things alike. But as you start growing and evolving, you realize she is her own individual and I should respect her opinion. She has to respect my opinion wherever it comes from. Earlier, it would be like, why aren't you thinking like me? So I guess, yeah, this has been a process of evolution. Yeah.
Great. And the last thing, how do you manage the stress and a burnout apart from, having those differentiated opinion from each other?
So I think the reason stress comes in is because you can't handle pressure. So I think the moment we know the pressure is coming in, we stop it right there. So far, I think at least conversations with one another, we don't reach that level of stress. The moment we know we're reaching there, we cut it right then, address it, or we create a cooling off period.
Oh, yeah.
It's subconscious. It's not that, hey, we are in a cooling off period, but it's instantly created that, okay, let's take a break and then let's recircle. So I think one of the best ways to tackle your pressure and all is, first thing is not to take it to your head, and it's right there, and it's only for that moment. It's up to us how long you want to take it, and the longer you take it and stretch it, the worse the relationship gets.
I guess we'll also interject a quick example here. Stress will also happen if you're less prepared, right? Stress also happens because of lack of preparation.
Okay, so here we end our rapid fire round and moving to the main questions. Okay, so starting with the first main one, what we understand, Kavya and Ramya, it all started from a hobby, from that liking towards sarees, but you have transitioned from a hobby to a full-time business venture, which indeed is a significant step in itself. So could you share some experience in making this leap from your pursuit and Kalaneca as a passion that you projected to dedicate yourself to, a full-time venture for yourself? And what were the challenges and how you just walked through them in beautiful sarees?
Sure. So when we started Kalaneca in 2014, as you said rightly, it was a hobby. And we actually started Kalaneca when there was no word called, sari brands, D2C brands, internet brands. That's when Kalaneca started. The intention, though, was very clear, because we used to watch our moms sit with our weavers and create these beautiful saris. We said, let's take this tiny village called Uppada in Andhra. Let's take that to the world. And let's use internet. But we were already in our own professional spaces, working there. So we said, let's do it as a hobby, to enjoy it, to take those weaves out. As we started doing it, we saw the power of the creations, but we also saw how we were impacting the wearers who love the saris, and they're handmade saris. So we did that in 2018, and then we said, now it's time to incorporate it and at least, make it a formal company, and let's do that in 2018. So while it started more like a bootstrap model, it still continues to be. We have been expanding
in terms of our verticals, but it continues being a bootstrap model itself. The only thing is that the entire intention about also starting is that we love wearing sarees. So we're like, yeah, hum khud enjoy karte hain. We enjoy wearing sarees. And there are so many people out there who enjoy wearing sarees. Why not we all connect and let's make something unique and special for them? It started with that very small intention. Now it became more about a passion project. So there is passion, there is purpose, there is a project saying, hey, you know what, there is this tiny village Upada. We need to bring that story and we need to put Upada on the handloom map of India across the globe. 2018, of course, you know, when we decided to incorporate it, it was a very bold decision on my sister's part to say no to her cushy corporate career in 2023.
2020, yeah, 2020 is when I started.
And when she said, listen, Kavya, I think we have something interesting that we can do. And I'm going to take this step.
Yeah. So and I think you asked a question on the challenges that came after that. You know, it's very obvious that you have a stable income coming in from one particular source. So it's easy to sit back and say, I have a stable income, so I can pursue this as a hobby. That's very easy. The biggest challenge that came is that how do you support yourselves without that stable income? And I think the big shift was the mindset shift. To not think like an employee anymore. The moment you start taking yourselves as an employee, you are not taking the ownership mindset to be part of the company and take the company forward. You only think from your task point of view. So that mindset shift actually helped me to overcome all the challenges and to also pursue this full time.
Also, another quick challenge I'm going to tell you is, you know, back then guidance was very less. Okay, I'm talking about even 15, 16. Okay, now on social media, you'll have all the CAs also tell you how to do your number and the sheets and all. But back then, we didn't have any kind of guidance as to, okay, when you even incorporate a company, is it LLP? Why is it private limited? Nobody to tell you. We'll ask, but everybody will just say, no, you just need this. Nobody gives you the actual guidance. So we had a lot of challenges. We actually burnt a lot of money in the pursuit of answers. Yeah. So that did happen. That was one of the challenges. But then again, I think we will look back at it like a good journey, because now things are falling in place. So back then it looked like a journey. At that time, I think it was more like, dude, what are we doing?
It's frustrating at that time. But yeah, that's how the transition has been. So
okay. It was almost like an on-job training, right?
Oh, yeah.
You learn, you adapt, and you move forward.
On the go. You're right.
So continuing this on-job training, I'm sure in the early stages of your establishment of Kalaneca, and you were putting your foots there and stabilizing yourself in the industry. So was there any specific challenge, as you mentioned that, you know, the CAs that time, they do not have that kind of guidance and how you should insure and P&L. How about was the perspective of, say, your distributors or say your weavers? So how seriously were they taking you in terms of your business? How were you addressing those perceptions?
So when it comes to weavers, I think there were no perceptions. They were just more than happy that there are these two girls who have come and they want to do something beautiful.
It's just the ecosystem wasn't as we call it digital India right now. So the interactions were not happening on WhatsApp. The payments were not happening through UPI. So the payments are bank transfers. They don't have a bank account. For that matter, even interactions on the phone, half the time there's no network, because I'm talking about a village in Andhra where we also come from. And then when we go to that village, our internet is hardly over there. So where are we addressing on Instagram, making reels or even putting content out there? It was that ecosystem which plagued us a little. And that's why that whole Digital India initiative for us has been an amazing bet.
I think the other perception which I would definitely say is we don't come from a business background, clearly. So, okay, the question was, तुम दोनों क्या कर रहे हो यहाँ पे? साड़ी, ठीक है, साड़ी तो लोग पहनते हैं, but why do we need another साड़ी brand? Is this even required?
And this was the perception of, you know, making them understand, you know, what's different about the sari. What about the perception towards both of you?
Oh yeah, I think.
First thing, of course, is you both are lucky. You have a backup. You have a business, so you have a backup. I would be told that often.
And we were also told, you have one another.
Yeah.
So if you are doing this single, then it would have been difficult. And we're like, whether you're single or together, you have a third co-founder. In fact, the more people come in, the more intricacies build in.
Because it can be double the delight or double the trouble as well. It can be that as well, right? And it's not that, this arm is being taken care of. So that, a lot of people would say, you both are lucky, at least you have one another. How can, me on the other hand, I'm just doing it solo. And the other is, you both have such cushy, amazing jobs.
You have supportive parents, you have supportive family.
Spouse,
so, and then we realized that people come, I mean, it's not their fault, but you come with one single lens. That you always look at the bright side of the other people and not so bright side of your own. That's the reason why you come with that single lens. So that was the biggest perception of self that we were trying to bust every time, that, hey, we do have challenges and we're overcoming them every single minute.
Fair enough. And any specific challenge when it came to, negotiation, you've already catered. So how about, when it was time for collection, money collection?
So I think Kavea has a lovely incident to talk about.
Oh.
This happened in Bangalore. I think that's something.
Oh yeah, when you talk about collection, so I'll tell you what, for the audience as well, I am also an anchor, like a full-fledged anchor, right? And as an anchor, a master of ceremony in the live events. Now, when I'm talking about 2013, 2012, I categorically remember, this video is also on YouTube, actually, the story that I've shared. We can be professional. It doesn't mean the opposite person is a professional. It doesn't mean the opposite person comes with the same set of ethos of values. And this is a time when I used to go by a blind word saying, okay, there's a show happening. I'm going to come and host. So I went to Bangalore to host. I put my own flight and tickets and I gave them a lump sum amount. This is the amount. And that payment never came for the next 8 months. And I'm talking about 2013. And when I've just started off, even as an anchor. So for you, the payment matters. It took me a lot of mails, and when the mails got nasty, it's only when I had a show in Bangalore that I'm just cutting the story short, but I had to go to Bangalore and I made up my mind saying, I'll book my flight for a later time. I need to go to this office and address this issue. How I collected that money, how I retrieved that money was nothing short of a Rohit Shetty film, which is why it was very called Lady Singham. That is when I realized, oh my God, you cannot go with the lens of just trust and a blind eye. You got to be professional enough to also say, this is how my invoicing will be. This is how I will collect the payment.
Yeah. So what did you do then?
I think what I did was pretty interesting. Okay, a little bit of a movie time. Sorry. We're sitting in that particular office, and it's even more annoying when a lady says this to you. When a lady starts ridiculing you, you just wonder what's happening. So the couple is sitting out there and they go on saying, okay. They said something nasty, which I don't want to probably bring it out in the video again. The one thing I saw is, wait a minute, I have a flight. You guys are really not giving my money. The only thing I can do is I can see there are 2 very gorgeous MacBooks over there. So I said, wait a minute, this is just going to go on and on. I just shut up. I just got up. I just took the MacBook, went to their balcony, because Bangalore houses and offices do have balconies. So, hey, my advantage. I take the MacBook and I put it outside the balcony and say, you give me that money in cash in the envelope, or this MacBook is falling right down. And they're like, oh, no, you're not going to hold that. You're not going to do. I said, I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. Wait. We're going to put the money. They put the money. And then again, they just throw it on the table very dramatically. And I just take that MacBook. I throw that on the table. I collect the money. I run. I go down. I sit in the auto and I cry. And I say, damn, I did it. So first I tried saying, what am I doing in life? But the second moment was, I did it. So yeah, what happened.
I would definitely say that was a Lady Singham move to do that. Later also you realized that, with all that emotional burst also, but I think at times such things are very much required for people to make you heard.
Yeah, you're right. Because I think that moment is when you actually look deeper inside. When moments like these happen, I think we look deeper inside wondering, wait a minute, something is not aligned with me and I have not communicated that the right way to myself. That is when you try to change. So you're right. Yeah, sometimes it takes a deep poke.
And with this, the journey for the success of Kalaneca, I'm sure it was with all the peaks and lows. So was there any particular incident or a moment that you encountered while building this brand Kalaneca? And what was your strategy or approach that was really instrumental in navigating through that challenge?
Sure. So while we were doing Kalaneca, as I mentioned already, as a hobby, then became a passion project, and now it's completely out there. There were many challenges which we could still navigate through until last year. And this is when I've already resigned from my company and I'm taking this up full time. In Mumbai is definitely famous for the rains. And when it rains, it just pours, right? So around July, I think we were still trying to do things and get that narrative out of the handmade sarees. We chose to do a particular pop-up at a particular place, just because we said, okay, let's do as many pop-ups as possible to be out there and to acquire new offline customers. I think if I now look back, place also matters because your positioning, your segmentation, your targeting, all of this is there for a reason. So we went to a particular place for the pop-up. It was already pouring very badly, and we had discussed that first day I'll be going in, and by evening Kavea will join in. And we reached there. We were not happy with the setup, first of all, but we said, okay, we have promised ourselves to be there, we'll continue doing. And then comes the downpour. And it was not just regular rain. The way it poured, all our purely handmade mulberry silk sarees got washed out. And all we could do is just look at it and feel the pain. We sat in the auto and we cried. And when we cried, the first thing, well, I think we both started telling one another is, कर क्या रहे हैं हम लाइफ में
और कर क्यों रहे हैं?
कर क्यों रहे हैं हम ये लाइफ में? Cut to next day, we again circle back, and this is where I said the power of sister bonding is we circle back and we said there's something that we're not doing right. Let's address the issue and let's not take it personal. And as we started looking into it, we realized it's now time to pivot. And the way to pivot was to introduce something new, and it was not a new vertical, it was not a new sari, but a new sister brand. And I think this is where we take inspiration from being sisters.
Yeah.
And yes.
And then we realized that's when what happened is when we decided we wanted to pivot. Why do we want to pivot? It's because we want to ascend. And that's when the name Athram came about. So Athram comes from the word Arangetram. Now both of us, Ramya and I, we both are classical dancers. And Arangetram, which is from the Bharatanatyam form of dance, Athram means to ascend, to get up on the stage, to ascend. So we said, hey, we're going to call this Athram India, and let's start a completely new, different line of sarees. Started Athram around August.
Yeah.
By August end, the profits that we poured into company was something we had not seen before.
And it's not about profits for Athram.
Yes.
What is the best part is the people who start coming to buy Athram were also buying Kalaneca now. Athram was required to give that push to Kalaneca.
So we constantly say it was like that one sister who had to push the other sister. Like how we keep pushing one another to, sort of, open that envelope of, sort of benchmarks or, whatever effort.
So in clear, business words, we would say diversifying was the right thing to do at that point. And I think the universe was testing us that would we give up and shut shop because we were very close to, or would we say, you know what, take this up and tweak and pivot, and we did that.
Great. I think that movement was very much required to create that kind of divergence in your vision and create a more differentiated and more elaborate offerings, I would say. And with that, I would ask Ramya and Kavya to both. This happened last year, is what I understand. And I'm sure over the journey, the vision would have evolved. I won't use the word changed, but evolved. So how would you differentiate to how you started the vision and now where you stand with that vision for Kalaneca?
That's a very lovely question, by the way, Pratik, because vision can always change. Your vision statement might be the same, but the vision can always evolve. When we started, I think it was just purely ke Upada sarees, put Upada on the handloom map. But then we forgot, we actually gave a very lovely name to our brand. It's called Kalaneca. What is Kala? Art. What is Nika? It comes from the Arabic word marriage. So it was literally meant to be marriage of art forms, while we were only trying to get that marriage happen within one village, within one location. It is only in the last 1 year after Athram also happened, we realized, wait a minute, literally we will now get to marry the art forms by adding different verticals, by adding different narratives. Sari styling, our IP event, Saris and Sangrias, is another conversation starter.
And through saris and sangrias, we are trying to create a community, bring in people from different walks of life to come together, understand and talk about their love for saris over sangrias and interact. So before, I think 2014, it was about, hey, we want weavers of Upada to flourish. Let's leave it right there. We realize Kalaneca has the opportunity to create much bigger impact. And it's not just the weavers, the wearers, through community building. If you ask me in one line, what's the big shift from 2014 to today? Well, 2014 was about Upada weavers. Today, 2024, where we stand, Kalaneca addresses the fundamental need of self-expression, which is one of the biggest needs of a human being in the top 15. So we are now, that's our vision, is to address the need of self-expression, be it through saris, be it through styling, and then we have other verticals which will be coming up this year and as well.
Okay. And with verticals, I understand there's also a vertical by the name the CEO Club. If you could delve a bit on that.
My
Sure,
favorite.
that's our favorite for a reason. We had always observed people would come and say, I want a sari for office wear. And we would also notice that people typically put office wear. And, I think somewhere it never felt powerful for us. And our hashtag is wear your power. So we felt, why don't we just put it as an office wear? It's not ringing a bell. But, we always thought we are all CEOs of our lives. CEO might be a tag, or a designation, but we are all CEOs of our life. We said, you know what? We need to create saris where every person, irrespective of their designation or wherever they are in their life, when they wear that sari, they say, we are wearing our power. So we are the CEO. So we call it the CEO Club. So when you aim to shop from Kalaneca CEO Club, you are shopping not just a sari. You're shopping that sari that makes you feel powerful and the CEO of your life.
And what's with the tag wear your power?
Yeah, I think we always believe that saris make you feel powerful because, as she said rightly, right, 6 years of freedom. And I think freedom is powerful. Each one of us in our lives, we're aiming for that level. So we believe that it's not be beautiful, which is fine. You're any beautiful, you're any stylish, you're any looking classy, you're looking lovely. But I think there is beauty in power. Claim your power.
Yeah.
It's not about external. Do you feel powerful? Again, irrespective of your designation, irrespective of how much you're earning, irrespective of wherever others and you are. As a person, when you wake up, do you feel power? Wear your power with Kalaneca.
And I'll probably interject here with a quick point. Now, here's the thing, a lot of people, they say, the sari is very uncomfortable. Hai, yaar. Sari, yaar, abhi itna process hai. The point is, it is a process to become a CEO as well. No? वही process hai to wear a sari. But the first time you wear a sari, you will probably take 30 minutes because it's the very first time. The second time will take 15 minutes. Now we take 30 seconds each to wear a sari. I'm not saying, hey, we can do it, so you can do it. No, you can definitely do it if you want to do it, which is why you will wear your power. And the moment you start wearing your power, imagine it's not just a piece of garment then. It applies on every decision you're making in life. Who you choose to meet, when you choose to eat,
What you choose,
what you choose to wear, and why you choose to wear, and again find comfort. Like today, we are here in this cowl drape. Tomorrow, I'll be heading to the airport. Either I'll wear a sari or I'll just wear some nice track pants and I'll go. But then also, I will still enjoy it and say, hey, I feel awesome. So that is the entire narrative. Yeah.
Amazing. And really impressed by this hashtag, wear your power. That's really powerful, I would say. And coming to the last question of this segment. So, as we are celebrating the Women's Day, so reflecting on your own journey, if you can provide an invaluable insight for aspiring female entrepreneurs, because I'm sure you have taken that decision from having a very safe, cushioned corporate job and move to an entrepreneurs. So, what advice would you offer to women looking to embark their journey into their entrepreneurial venture? So, what would it be?
Okay, so I'll start here. I think one thing that I can see from my journey or our journey a little is the fact that don't do everybody's work. Just because you're capable, just because you're multifaceted, just because you're multi-talented, just because you're superwoman, don't. Train that individual to do that work. Even if you know the answer, train that individual to find the answer. Because or else then you're just having delayed success. Delayed success, not I'm talking about company, but in that task. Then you will continue doing that task because we as women have been blessed with these amazing adjectives saying she's a superwoman, and then suddenly there is
multitasker.
यहाँ पे एक बेलन है, यहाँ पे एक चाकू है, यहाँ पे we have those so many hands saying we can do everything. It is true, we can do everything, but the point is to understand I choose not to do certain things. I think as women, if we can understand that and realize that I don't need to do everything, I don't need to have the answer or find the solution for every answer. I think this is my learning, which I would love to share with people is you don't need to have the answer for everything. Train the people to find the answer. That way you'll grow faster. And second thing I would say is
I'll answer.
Yeah.
The second one is ask for help.
Yeah.
We are, again, as Kavea also said rightly, we are brilliant at taking the task to self. Like, मैं सब कर दूंगी, मुझसे हो जाएगा because I'm a superwoman, because somebody else has given the tag as well. But when we choose to ask for help, I think we are doing one thing here, one more thing. We are collaborating. We forget that the power of collaboration also comes by asking others, and by asking for help, we are not
Powerless.
Yeah, we're not powerless at
Yeah.
all. In fact, we are also inviting somebody else to join that ecosystem to create something more beautiful. And I think the more we ask for help, the more we get these answers, and the more we create something altogether new. We
I
have done
think
that.
I'll plug in something very important here. We never really ask our customers for reviews.
Yeah.
It's such a, I'm sorry, I'll put it in the most layman language, it's such a dumb thing to do. Why didn't we ask? Our point was, nahi, if they like the sari, they'll anyway give. It is not, that's not how it works. Suppose even if I want a pencil from my dad, if I'm in my 4th standard, I'll say, Papa, I want a pencil. I won't say dad knows whether pencils khatam ho gaye ki nahi, wo denge nahi. So imagine we never even asked our customers for reviews, and it's only in the last 2 years we would write saying, hi, you, because they would say, man, this sari is outstanding and all. If that's the case, we'd send them a link. Could you please share your review? And we were heartened to see, wow, these people are actually taking time to write the reviews. Why didn't they ask?
So we were also robbing off the opportunity for them to express the joy.
Yeah.
So, they're so happy.
Yeah.
By asking them for review, they are more than happy to write it. So they're feeling more joyful. So we were robbing them of that opportunity.
So ask.
And I think the third one, which we both agree, is that we're always, as women, because that's what we're talking about, is we're brilliant at trying to, keep everyone happy. Which is great. And I think that's a great, I already spoke about this at the start, right? That's a great skill to have, that we are looking at everyone as well. It begins with you.
Yeah.
If my cup is full, I can also fill your cup.
Yeah.
So are you happy? That's the most important thing. Is that aligned to what you are? You're happy, the world will aram say align to you and also be happy. So yeah, that's another piece, I would say.
Thank you, Kavya and Ramya, for joining us today. It was indeed a pleasure to have both of you and interact with us. And there are a couple of lessons that we have taken from your journey, which I'm sure will be inspiring many women out there. The very foremost being that women possess an inherent strength, and how you have utilized that strength in your own journey of growth and perseverance. The way you have pursued your dreams. There were times when you paused to reflect, recalibrate your strategies, pivot, and then surge forward to overcome any further challenge. That's truly an example of resilience. And wearing a sari transcends a mere act of draping a fabric. It symbolizes wrapping one's inner strength, alignment of one's mindset with their ambitions, and serve as a potent emblem to the days of accomplishments, I would say. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Pratik.
much.
Thank you so much for featuring our story, our journey. And
Yes.
again, what I would want to probably just sign off of saying is that we are all storytellers, but it's people like you who decide to share these journeys and these stories. It's not just us inspiring. Maybe we look forward to being inspired as well. So I want to thank you, Pratik.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Definitely.